Welcome back, my amazing artists. I hope you'll join me in this lesson as we combine art and science to create a 3D form. In this lesson, we will model a relief sculpture of insects out of model magic clay, add interesting details to convey our own ideas of insects, and add color and patterns with paint and markers. Let's dive in. We know that art is made up of 7 main elements. These are the ingredients that we use to create all artwork. Form is one of the elements of art, along with line, shape, color, texture, value, and space. Forms are three-dimensional shapes, or 3D for short, meaning that they have 3 dimensions: height, width, and depth. Some common forms that are familiar with us are spheres, cubes, cylinders, and cones. These are geometric forms, but there are also organic forms, such as plants, fruits, people, and animals. Forms are all around us. 3-dimensional artworks come in the shape of forms called sculptures. Relief sculptures are one-sided sculptures. Reliefs are sculptural artworks that appear as a raised texture above a background plane. Today, we are going to form a sculpture of insects using model magic. Model magic is a soft, squishy, marshmallowy, air-dry clay that resembles Play-Doh. Using the model magic, we can create forms by molding the clay into various shapes and lines by squishing, rolling, and flattening it with our hands. Before we get started, let's look at the anatomy or diagram of insects. They have a body, a head, wings, and 6 legs and antenna. We are going to make each part of the insects the model magic. Look closely at each part of what shapes and forms do you see? Think about how you are going to create each piece using the model magic clay and what forms you will need to use. Think about adding extra lines and shapes and patterns to create detail. You can even use lines and shapes in the background with markers or... All right, let's get started. We are going to begin with a piece of board. One side is brown and one side is white. We are going to write our name and grade on the back, which is the brown side. On the white side, we are going to design the background for our insect. So think of the environment that your insect is going to be in. Will it be in leaves? Will it be flying in the sky? Is it going to be perched on a flower? Decide how you want to turn your board to decide how you want the shape to look for the environment of your insect. Then you're going to begin drawing your environment with pencil. I am just drawing some leaves here so that my bug can be sitting on some leaves. I'm beginning with pencil and then tracing with a black marker. Once you have everything traced with a black marker, then you can use colored markers to fill in your shapes. Don't worry so much about the space around your shapes because we're going to use a bingo daughter to fill that in at the end. Just focus on your leaves and flowers or any other shapes that you may have in your picture. Okay, I'm going to speed this part up. Open a package of Model Magic. Inside the package of Model Magic, you're going to find one whole lump of squishy, marshmallowy Model Magic. This is a type of clay that will dry on its own and doesn't need to have any heat to dry. When you get the Model Magic out of the package, warm it up in your hands a little bit and you can start breaking it apart. You're going to use all of the Model Magic that you have, but first I'm going to show you how to make a sphere, which is just a ball by rolling it in your hands, a coil, which is like a long rope of clay, which you can spin or make wavy lines with, or use it to outline things, and a slab, which is like a flat pancake of clay. You're going to need all of these for your insect. Okay, now I'm going to roll it all back up and show you how to separate it into 3 separate spheres because I'm going to be making a beetle. Now, if you're making a different insect, you'll have to break it up into a different amount of spheres to get started. I'm just going to break mine up into 3 for the 2 wings on the back and the head. Now I am carefully forming each shape that I need. So I'm making a semicircle for one wing, and I'm going to make another semicircle for the other wing, and a circle or sphere for the head. And I'm going to press all of this down onto my board, and it will stick on its own. And once you get it on the board, you can still manipulate it and move it around and stick it a little bit more. I have a few extra little pieces of Model Magic that I broke off of one of my spheres so that I could add some little details like eyes, and I want to make a coil to outline parts of the body. If you were making a ladybug, you could use this to make spots on your ladybug. If you were doing a butterfly, you could do designs in the wings. If you're doing a caterpillar, maybe you want to add some little feet. You can also use your pencil as a sculpture tool by pressing it into the clay before it's dry. You can use the pointy part of your pencil to make lines and small little pokes that create little textures in the clay. Now, if you're trying to draw a line, you have to kind of stipple or press the pencil by bouncing it into the clay. If you try to drag the pencil to draw a line in the clay, it might pull the clay to the side or pull the Model Magic to the side. You can also use the eraser end to make bigger circles pressed into your Model Magic. Just have fun playing around and making different textures on your insect. Now you are ready for color. We're going to use bingo daughters first to paint your insect. So start with a lighter color. I'm starting with yellow. It's the lightest color, or maybe like a light green if you're going to be using that. And then move on to darker colors from there so they don't mix. When you use the bingo daughter, make sure that you are stamping it first and squeezing it on a scratch paper to make sure that it's good and working. And then you're going to press it kind of like you're making polka dots that fill in the space on your insect. Make sure that you're putting the lid on each bingo daughter when you are done using it. You don't want them to dry out. When the paint is dry, then you can start to add details and other small things to your insect. So you can use little pipe cleaners to add antennae or antennas to the insect's head. You can also add legs to your insect. Now, if you have a butterfly and it has big wings, you may not need to do this. Maybe you could just do the antennas. But I'm going to add some legs to mine. An insect has 6 legs, and I have to cut them to make them a little bit smaller. But I'm going to put 3 on one side, and then I'm going to put 3 on the other side so they have symmetry. They're the same on both sides. You can also embellish your insect with markers once the paint is dry. So if you wanted to add some details or more color to your insect, you can use the markers on top of the dry Model Magic. And that's it really, guys. I really hope that you have fun making your insects. I cannot wait to see what you create, what kind of little bugs you create. I am so excited to see these, and I hope you have fun creating. See you next time.